All right, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets dominating the Patriots. And this was what was advertised when Aaron Rodgers joined the Jets, right? If you were a Jets fan, you were hoping for things like this, and it's exactly what you got. Rodgers was fantastic in this game. I have some nitpicks to get into, but this is mostly going to be a very positive video. Let's talk about Rodgers' very good performance. Let's start off with this play. The one you see on your screen, it's a pretty interesting one. So this is early on in the game. You see a halfback is going to be blocking the Patriots player who I've circled in black right here. Rodgers takes a snap, and because of this, there is a pretty quick pressure. On top of this, where Rodgers wants to throw is pretty well covered by New England, so a couple issues for Rodgers. And this is where what I find interesting is a lot of talk was made with Rodgers' Achilles injury of, well, he's more of a pocket passer at this point in his career. How much is he going to have to move around? And the answer is some. This is a play where he's going to have to move around. But watch what he does. Rodgers is going to get outside the pocket, and he moves pretty well. Again, is he looking like 28-year-old Aaron Rodgers? No, but he wasn't looking like 28-year-old Rodgers when he was 38 either. The fact that he can use his legs and that can be a part of his game is, to me, a massive plus. And if you don't believe me, check out this play where Rodgers going to look towards his left and scramble outside the pocket. Right here, again, typically, if you're a fan of the team playing Aaron Rodgers and you're watching this, you're thinking, oh my God, this is a disaster. He's about to throw for a 50-yard touchdown right here. That's totally what's going to happen. But of course, coming off the injury, is that going to happen? And no, but still watch what happens. Rodgers is going to, while off balance, make a really accurate throw. That wasn't caught, but it was not the fault of Aaron Rodgers. There was an offensive penalty anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But again, just kind of goes to show what he can do. Like this one was another one where there's pressure, but you see him kind of evade that pressure with help of the offensive lineman, of course, doing some nice work. But still, he's moving around. He's throwing off balance. He looks like, again, not quite prime Aaron Rodgers, but he looks like the Aaron Rodgers that was able to win 2 MVPs without being this super athlete, outside the pocket, right? So this is really exciting stuff if you're a Jets fan. As for the game itself, it was a weird game, right? Where there was a lot of positive plays, but not a lot of highlight reel level plays for Rodgers. It was a lot of simple stuff. The offense as a whole was working in a surprising way. The Patriots have covered well to start this season, although it is worth mentioning the Seahawks were able to kind of get some nice gains on them. Really, the Patriots had a good week 1 against Cincinnati, but weeks 2 they had some struggles, and here the Jets were really able to do what they wanted. The concept you see on the screen, you have a tight end kind of push that middle linebacker further deep. Another receiver runs to where that middle linebacker was, and hopefully that area is open. The Jets are going to take the snap right here, and you see Rodgers. He looks over. There's a receiver open, and what I love about Rodgers is his quick release. The throwing motion is just a thing of beauty. Watch what's going to happen. He gets that ball there quickly in a hurry. It takes him an instant to make that throw, and they're easily able to pick up a 10-plus gain. Again, this is just what Rodgers can do. This is what he's capable of. It's really good stuff. Again, not the highest degree of difficulty play, that's totally fair to mention, but still, again, being able to hit the layups and hit the low degree of difficulty plays is still good. And more than anything, I think, through the first couple weeks, we saw the Jets struggle to get low degree of difficulty plays. The fact that they're just getting these types of plays now is optimistic. They had a rough couple of teams they had to play to start the year, and it's totally fair to say it might have just been that. Now, this game was not without its negatives. This drive towards the end of the half was, a bit of a bummer. I think, but they had multiple promising drives stall out in the first half, the first and last drive of the half. They only had 4 drives, but the 2 that weren't touchdowns still had some good moments, but ultimately stalled. First, you see this from Rodgers. He's gonna, gonna show where he's gonna, how he's gonna start to throw this ball. You see him very off balance. That's definitely worth mentioning. However, when we get over there, Garrett Wilson is wide open. Now, several things to note right here. Probably the first one is that the defensive back covering Garrett Wilson fell down. This did not slow down Garrett Wilson, though. This was kind of unrelated. It's not a penalty. There is a penalty on the play, but it has nothing to do with this. This throw is just a bit too far. And it's one of those things where, okay, he didn't know that the defensive back was going to fall down, so he's trying to make a perfectly accurate throw, which makes sense. He's off balance. This is not a bad missed throw at all. It's just he wasn't quite able to make the difficult play here, right? I talked about making the layups earlier. This was a contested 3, but a contested 3 that missed. Worth mentioning, him and he did kind of say something to Garrett Wilson after. I think maybe he wanted Wilson to potentially run the route differently. I'm not sure exactly what else Wilson could have done, but maybe there is something that could have been done that I missed. And later on in the sequence, they also had this play where him and Wilson weren't on the same page. Could have gained some yards, made it for an easier field goal attempt. Instead, they had to try a relatively long field goal, which was missed. So, yeah, that was also a disappointing play by Rodgers and Wilson. So, again, none of these are like horrible plays. These are just things they have to work on. You're going to expect some of these plays. You're going to expect some of these growing pains, and we did still see them. But then you have something like this, where you see the blitzing concept for the Patriots. You know, it was interesting where Jared Mayo said in the halftime interview that they were going to try and essentially, in not exact words, but they're going to start blitzing a lot more, which is a weirdly honest thing you don't usually get from those interviews. But kind of he said they wanted to keep mixing it up, trying new things to get Rodgers off rhythm. This is one of the things they're trying. It's a 5-man rush, but they're also going to drop the edge rusher towards the bottom of the screen back in coverage. It's just a way to help try and fool Rodgers. But watch the defensive tackle, who now he's the contain guy here for Rodgers, right? He's the one who's going to be closest towards the bottom of the screen, who's rushing Rodgers. When this play begins, he's going to do what most defensive tackles would do if they see an opportunity. Oh, I have an opportunity for an inside move. Let me try and take it. That's just a dangerous game to play against a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm assuming they didn't think this would be that dangerous of a game to play against a guy like Aaron Rodgers, given his health and all that going into this season, and given the fact that he did kind of look like a statue through the first 2 weeks of the season. But here, you're going to see why it's dangerous. Watch as Rodgers is going to scramble outside the pocket. And again, at this point right here, if you're a Patriots fan, you're not even worried at this point. You've already accepted defeat. You already know this just isn't going to go well. Of course, it doesn't. Rodgers is able to hit someone who's wide open. They're able to pick up a big gain. Because again, if you give that much time, someone's probably going to get open. I mean, it's really good stuff here by Aaron Rodgers and by the Jets on this one. I mean, it's incredible. And then this one, too, where it's going to be a play action, and they're going to try and hit Garrett Wilson, who's, currently one-on-one here. So it's, again, a route that you can certainly see how this could work. Although, one thing worth mentioning is it's a tough angle. Rodgers is on the hash marks towards the top of the screen, so that makes things more difficult. When this play begins, you see Rodgers just kind of drifting back at this point, and this is a tough ball to throw. If you get it there, you have to get it there in a hurry. And on 1st and goal, I'm going to just say, if I see a young quarterback doing this, I'm crushing them for this decision. This is one of those throws you can only make if it works. But watch this just amazing throw. And again, what makes you a better decision maker is if you have great accuracy and great arm talent. Because for Rodgers, there aren't a lot of throws that are bad decisions because he can fit the ball through a mailbox with consistency. And we saw that in this game. Is Aaron Rodgers back? Yes. Aaron Rodgers is all the way back. He was magnificent in this game. Absolutely perfect. Only a couple of nitpicks I really have on his game, not being able to make some really hard throws or a miscommunication. Other than that, this was what we used to see the Patriots do to the Jets over the years. This was incredible stuff by Aaron Rodgers. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.